That's me. Our guest today is Chris Errera. He is from Chi-Town, Chicago. He's got some new music that's going to be dropping. He's been on the show before. I have my questions from last time. I know we didn't cover them all. My problem is I don't remember which ones we covered and which ones we didn't, so that'll be interesting. But hey, we'll make the best of it, and worst comes to worst, he plays. He's awesome. Yes. Let me turn that off. Play Gibson, hello, welcome. I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome in. I haven't seen Chris here yet. Oh. Hey everyone, it's Chris.
Hello, hello.
Hey, woo.
Oh, hold on, let me grab my volume.
Okay, sorry, we were killing time on my end, trying to, we thought you were going to come into my live that way. Oh. And I'm like, okay, I can kill time. I was his teacher. I can kill time.
See, and I was totally, I got that memo wrong.
It's okay. You know what? Because sound's been atrocious that way. And we did a little sound check over there, and it was good, and then it wasn't, and then it was like, okay, so this is probably for the best. Everyone, this is Chris Errera.
How you doing, guys? Everybody.
And I need to get into your chat so I can see.
Oh, take your time.
Oh, my question for you: do you have a moderator on your end?
Today, I don't think I do.
Okay, so I can send Little Ironhead over your way.
Okay.
She just can't see lives, but if she knows you're live, Little Ironhead, can you go over there and help Chris? And I got M over here, I know for sure, and I saw Larry, so that way we're covered both sides.
Yeah, that's no problem. No, I usually always have my lives. It just is like I've been like a fart in a windstorm the past week, and I just.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, we were saying we were all running late today. Like it's been kind of a crazy week. Yesterday was really crazy for me.
It's been a very crazy week. I mean, I was even saying that when I was waiting. I was like, boy, this week has felt like. It's the weirdest week because it's felt like 1,000 years, but it's only felt like a day.
Right. Yeah, it's very bizarre. And
yes.
I don't see you live. Hold on. I'm trying to see you live. So I can go into your chat and see your chat too with my Ironhead account on my iPad.
Well, yes, of course.
But I'm not seeing you. Hold on. Everybody, just we're cool. We're cool. We're
always cool. I'm just late, and I don't, hey.
All right, now I'm in. I'd go around the back door, but I got in.
That's what I'm talking. And
look at your numbers. Look at your numbers. Wow. This is probably better for you anyway. Okay, because my numbers have been in the toilet lately, but that's just me.
I haven't even been on. I haven't, like I said, this is my first time being live in over, it's been a week. Easy.
It's been a while. And
like I said, I broke a string. I broke this one, so it's kind of like got a Band-Aid. I've broken since I've started lives. I broke 2 strings in this piano. In 40 years of playing, I haven't broken one.
Oh wow!
I know.
Well, Little says she can't see lives, and the TikTok doesn't seem to want to fix it.
Okay.
So so if I see that you're live, even if I can't go, I'll go. Hey, Little, Chris is on. You need to get there, and I hadn't seen you, so yeah, she's like, well, nobody's sharing me the live or telling me, and I'm like, that's honey, because I haven't seen him. Yeah.
Okay, and she's my moderator. She's a mod on me anyway.
Yeah. So is she over on your side now?
Yeah, I think she is.
Little, show yourself, and we're gonna get the show started, folks. Okay. All right. Well, you look like you're ready to play something. You just want to play something.
I'm just kind of chilling out. Like people have already asked, like, what are you doing on this early? I'm like,
because we're having a show, folks.
I'm like, well, I have actually an engagement to do, but yeah, that's really true. Honestly, what am I doing on this early in the morning?
Yeah. Well, I will see. I have a night show and then I have a morning show, and so that it kind of covers more time zones.
I agree.
Because like I know on my end, M is one of my moderators, and she's from Poland, so she's over in Europe.
What, 8 hours?
My European crowd likes this time because it's like early evening for them.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it works out. Yeah,
it works out. That's why I do not like to always I like to give a general day that you can catch me instead of a general time. And it's because it's like this. It's like there is no appropriate time for this platform or any platform. Because if you have it totally, truly worldwide, you have 24 time zones. So every time it's like, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you can really broaden your reach, exposure by playing, no pun intended, with the time.
Right. Yeah, I've been very anal because it's me. I'm used to being on schedules. And I really, 8 o'clock. Oh, thank you so much, Dana. 8 o'clock on Tuesday, 11:30 on Thursday. But, yeah, I think the creators who mix it around, I think in the long run, it helps them. Yeah.
I agree. Like
Yeah.
for my life, it makes it really harder. I mean, I'm very scheduled, but it makes it it puts me under more pressure because being a professional musician and working in it every day, I don't have a set schedule. It's not this career is not a 9 to 5 career.
Right.
So unfortunately, to the I've gotten to my world to where I can do about, I would say 70, 60%. I can control times. I can control a schedule. I can actually have what would be considered somewhat of a normal life, I guess. I don't know what normal really is.
Yeah.
But it's, yeah, because it's like anything, like I could get a phone call in the next hour saying, hey, do you want to somebody got sick, somebody's hurt.
Yeah, you want to do a gig.
Hey, do you want to do this project with us
Yeah.
for the next 3 weeks? Or can you do something tonight for tomorrow? Or and so I feel more pressure always being like, I'll be there at 4:30 on Tuesday. It almost feels like I get a little anxiety because it's like, if I'm in the middle of something, if I'm at a conference call, I'm looking at the time or looking at my clock going, okay, gotta get, how do I? So I'm finding that realistically, everybody's going to just know that the days I'm going to be on will probably be
good.
Accuracy for me.
So if you follow Chris, he has days, not specific times necessarily. They wait. You kind of change them up. Yeah. Usually, I've seen you like early evening. A lot of times, I've seen your lives then. Yes. But that's always subject to change.
And like I said, if people are able to see me on live, like if the ring comes around wow, he's on. Yeah, I'm on. There's got to be a reason or something. Really
yeah, something's gone on. You got to change your time because of whatever.
Yes. So but it's always interesting because my brain really every part of the day, everybody's brain is, but my personality's kind of changes the morning, like as the day goes on. So like morning, you'll get really more of subdued, kind of calm, chill me. Uh-huh. Middle of the day, I'm high wire act, bouncing. And then you get like the middle evening where I'm very more poignant, probably more business-like actually. Yeah. And then, laid back in the evening, just total chill. And I do some of my lives late now. I've just started doing them out of my recording studio. So
yes, I have seen a live where you were in the recording studio, and sometime we're gonna do a show from there.
Yes, we will do that. We'll do that in the evening. I think it's a better
an evening one. Okay,
yeah, I love that kind of the mood, the lighting, everything.
Schedule that for for like a Tuesday night sometime. We'll do that.
Perfectly fine, because for me it's like everything is about aesthetics.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was just talking to a friend the other day, and we were just. I don't know. We were just BSing about some stuff, and it was really interesting that we were just talking about like rooms. Just rooms in general. Like people have sewing rooms, people have a pottery room, people have anything. A kitchen if you're a chef that you really enjoy like being in. For us musicians, for many times until lately, and I mean lately in the past few years, we really never had a room. Yes, we had our own band rooms, we had our own like basements or whatever. But our true rooms were recording studios. That's where the gear was. That was where we were going to be able to get something of quality onto another medium. That's really the place, where it was our comfort zone, or that was our hangout, as much as, and so it was really interesting to me is that the past probably 6 or 7 years it's really become not a fad in any way. So you could see the change, especially maybe a little right before COVID, but COVID, of course, exacerbated it. But now we have our own, like I have my own production suite. So I don't have to buy the biggest building anymore. You just need basically a 10 to 12, or you can go larger for this kind of technology now. I don't need to have the whole studio anymore. We could have tracking worlds. So like you could have a tracking building, a building that would actually, or a studio that just handles getting the material down to digital.
Yeah.
And then from there, you can then pull off like a file, like a Word file. That's how I get them sent to me. Not in a Word file, but it's just a file.
And then so things are a little more streamlined now.
Oh, very much so. And so, like, getting back to what is like, I've now have my own room, like my own feeling, my own feng shui, my own everything. You know, because before this trend or the new changing, you know, you're not lopping down $1.5 million for a recording studio. You know,
I bet. Yeah, I had a guest, not this Tuesday, the Tuesday before. She does some of her own music, and she said how easy it is to get a professional musician to record whatever parts she needs, and then she can put it together to make her music. And the minute she said that, I'm thinking she probably needs Chris to polish it up. I'm just saying, you know, that would be even better.
Hey, you know, I like look at the canned music. Oh, no pun intended, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But yes, no, you know, that is like one of the, I'm working on an artist now, and I'm doing one of her singles that she'll be releasing later this month. And yeah, I'm working on like, I mean, she recorded it. I had them, or she had it recorded at a different facility. Then they were going to do it to the next production level, but then she decided she wanted me to do it instead. And so it kind of was not thrown at me, but it was like, I was expecting to do a master. That's kind of like getting it ready for the last step before you put it out to public. But it was now then revised that I was going to take it from right out of the tracking studio, meaning like I'd produce it, the whole thing, the whole sound, everything. So, I mean, I got a bunch of different instrumentalists from all over the country.
Yeah, that's what she's saying. She says they could be anywhere, and then they send the file to her, and then she
now there is going to be, I am working on a live of the do's and don'ts. I'm going to be doing maybe a 5-part set. By working through this,
okay,
I'm going to be doing, I'm going to start, and I don't know when I'm starting, but I started working on this yesterday, I'm going to do the 5 do's and the 5 don'ts, or the goods and the bads of doing music via the internet. Like exactly that. Recording and using a bunch of different people, and that's wonderful. But there are ways to be able to do it. There's ways not to, and there's ways to make this process go really slow, really like dragging to where it ruins the fun, and it can hurt your outlook on collaborations. And it can give you a bad taste in your mouth, and that's what I'm trying to avoid for people. I do not want to avoid people to avoid just having one bad experience going, oh, that's how it's always been. No. Yeah. But there are do's and don'ts, and it's kind of reaffirmed it where I'm going through going, oh yeah, or the artist sitting there going to me was like, well, why is this taking a little longer than what, like,
yeah, because you know,
timing is the number one thing in the musician's world.
Timing is everything. Yeah.
Timing is everything, and it's, you know, and thank you, and timing is everything. Timing means from the point of, you know, and it's a lot more than just playing together. You know, timing keeps a band together. Timing keeps vocalists together. Timing keeps the fabric of life together, but time is relative. But it's all relative. So what happens is that I could have an idea of a song, and I will say to that person, okay, I want it in a kind of a rocky thing, maybe a rocky groove, and the tempo is 96 BPMs, and it's written in this key. Well, that's great. But If you don't understand how to portray what's inside your head, and it's very very hard to do, and it's not impossible, but like I don't know what's in between your ears. There's no way in heck you're going to know what's between mine. So I got to give you as much information of what I want to hear to you. So there can be a quagmire where, even though you just give the basics of, oh, here's the song, here's this and that, go ahead and do it. And then all of a sudden, the person plays what their part's supposed to be and then sends it to you. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute. This doesn't sound anything. Wait a minute. No, no, no. This is sounding different because every person listens to music uniquely. Every
Oh,
human.
yeah. I would assume that would be different for everyone. Yes.
Of course. Like if we played the same song, I played this, you played the same song over and you and I both heard it. Yeah, we'll know the melody. We'll both sing it back, but it will hit us totally uniquely.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, the interpretation is always different. And I'm sure they get really bored when we talk a lot. So they would love to hear you play something so that they know the ones that are just because they're popping in on my side.
Okay.
I need to look at your side. They're popping in. They're starting to come in, and they're like, oh, and I know how they are.
That's fine.
Yeah, we're up in double digits now. Woo! Thank you, everyone. Woo! Yes. Please and thank you, Chris. They would love that. This is Chris Errera, everyone.
It's almost like getting reacquainted with an old friend because when you don't play for a while, or at least on an instrument, I've been playing all week. It's almost like a small little introduction period. Little jazz in the morning, just a little mellowness. Never heard of it. Thank you.
Lounge vibes. Chris on my side says lounge vibes. That's what it felt like. It felt like just chilling.
Yeah, just chilling. Little lounge, little lounge music. I mean, this is kind of my humble zone. Like that, this is my go-to. I did a lot of jazz, especially in college, later college, and then right out of college, I did my first music jobs were actually playing in piano bars in the 90s. Smoky rooms,
Oh, yeah. Well, I know you can't see it, but on my side, a lot of hearts. They loved what you just played.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you.
They loved it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And that's the biggest thing is that I appreciate everybody, but I appreciate you guys. I appreciate meeting you. It's a lot of fun. I mean, like I said, this whole journey on the TikTok world has been kind of fun, weird, exciting at the same time.
Yeah, it's been all kinds of fun, hasn't it? So last time, I know we had an awkward start today, and it's okay, folks. But I'll kind of tell you, Chris has been on the show before. If you just came in, about almost 3 months ago, I looked it up. You were last on January the 18th.
Yes.
So April the 18th would be 3 months. So
right.
Yeah. So in 3 months, and you're in Central Time Zone. You're in the same.
Yes.
You're just up at Chicago. I'm down by near St. Louis. So you
Yeah.
know, whoop, yeah. But
Sorry about
anyway,
sorry about the Cardinals, but that's okay.
yeah, tell me about it. They were so bad last year I couldn't
Yeah, they're not
watch
doing great
them.
this year so far yet either.
Yeah, I'm not. No, no, I
No,
can't watch. But anyway, meanwhile, back at the ranch,
well, I didn't win that.
yeah, yeah, the Cardinals. Yeah, let's not talk about them. But anyway,
I'm a Cub fan. I
He's up in Chicago, and he goes live. We've talked about that. He goes lives. His lives are depending on his schedules. But Cincinnati's doing good. Jeff says on my side. Well, that's
Yeah,
good.
Cincinnati is doing good.
Yeah,
Cincinnati is
yeah,
doing
yeah.
good.
Cardinals. Well, I can tell you. Well, I have opinions of why, but I can't say it here. But anyway, but why we're doing poorly. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Hopefully Chicago does better than
We're doing pretty
oh,
well. I think we'll have
yeah,
a good year.
yeah, yeah. It is what it is.
It is. It's the beautiful about the call the intangible. Don't know.
Don't know. Yeah. Yeah, but last year I didn't even have my Cardinal gear out. Didn't even go because it was like, why am I going to pay to go watch that? No.
You guys, being a Cub fan, you have to. We've been bred to understanding.
Oh yeah, you guys go no matter what.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, you go no matter what. You guys are true fan. We're like, do I really
yeah,
want to
right.
spend
Is
that
it worth
much
my
money?
time? I know. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Is it worth my time?
yeah, it's worth my time to really go do that. But anyway, so he is on TikTok. He plays basically keyboard. He also has a studio and he also has a business starting up
Yes, it's
that
already
he
yes. It's already been open for about 3 weeks now.
about
So
3 weeks where he can polish up when I was saying
yeah,
about polishing music,
mix, master,
mixing,
engineer.
yeah, all that. But you're also going to have some music drop. Let's talk
Yes.
about that.
Oh my God, we are like yeah, we are a little. I am now gonna have to push my release date of my EP, the one that's coming out like on the doorstep by 1 week. Just because this is usually how it usually runs. It's always a fluid tempo, right about within like I don't like usually being this close to the drop date of having it to move back, but it's fluid
Yeah,
and
originally it was like supposed to be like April 10th. So
yeah,
you're
yeah,
thinking it's
so I'm
going to
gonna
be,
probably be moving it a little bit like closer to the 20th,
yeah,
is what I'm looking at.
yeah.
It's just
Okay.
it's just like I said, the quirk in my piano, some other
Things
and
happen. Life
yeah,
events
life
happen.
happens.
Yeah.
Life happens.
Yeah, it does,
So
unfortunately.
and
Yeah.
I'm an open book, no pun intended, about being like I don't hide things. I mean, of course, I keep things private. I mean, I'm not that open,
Absolutely.
but yeah, I have no problem telling people when I have a good day, bad day. Or we're all human, you know.
Right.
And that's a big thing that I feel that we have to address to everyone as just individuals. You don't have to be a celebrity. You don't have to be anybody. You just have to be a participant. It's just let your neighbor next to you go, "Hey, it's okay.
It's okay.
Take a
Yeah.
deep
We all
breath.
have days. We all have moments. It's
It's
okay.
it's
Yeah.
okay to be human."
Yeah.
And
Oh, and on my side, I know you can't see it. Uh, M put chrisherreramusic.com. He has a website. Yes, he
yes.
does. Chris Herrera, I can't talk now. chrisherreramusic.com.
Or you can Google me also. I mean, I know
Yeah,
that's what some
Google, he'll
people
show up.
Google me and I'll go.
Yeah, there's lots of ways. He's here on TikTok. Are you on any other platforms? Did we
I
talk
am.
about that?
I mean, I'm on all of them. I'm on all of them.
You're
This
in
is
all
my
of them.
main streaming platform. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a big social media fan. I don't have the extra time, but
I get it.
some of the platforms, I'll be honest with you, I feel like it's just an old version of a playground when you were in fourth grade.
Oh yeah, like Ironhead, my main account. I took that and then I have an Ironhead on Instagram and I have an Ironhead on Facebook, and I do little bit over. I don't do that. I didn't know. No,
Right. I
no.
agree.
I come to TikTok usually, even
Yeah.
though
I
I
mean,
have echoing. Yeah, there's that. But there's things I get frustrated with, but I still come back to TikTok.
I just don't like. I don't like the topics. I do not like the aura. It's really not about the platform itself as the namesake. It's nothing about that. Um, it's the aura on that main page of whoever's using it.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do, like I said, with the company, and it doesn't have to do with all the other nice people on there. It's just there's a tinging kind of
Yeah.
animosity, and you know what I mean. There's an angst in the world in general. Lately, in my 50 years, I've felt it. First, it's been a while, but I mean, like, I've never felt this in my life. Like the angst,
Yeah.
the actual negative intensity of people. Everybody wants to complain. Everybody wants to bitch. Somebody
Oh.
wants to be somebody else, and somebody
Oh,
wants to complain.
yes.
And I don't have. We have a lot better usage for the energy that we have to be. And I'm not trying to be like, the more you know kind of NBC thing at the end with Little Star. But it's the truth. It's like, I always put it as this: if that person does not have a day-to-day influence, meaning like physically can stop what I'm doing from my day-to-day, I don't care. Meaning they can say what they want, they can do what they want, they can look at what they want. I don't care. I'm not going to involve or envelop myself into the situation. I'm not going to envelop myself into the energy. The negativity of just life has gotten really crazy. I mean, I'm just chill.
So Graham Green Eyes on my side says, just live life. It doesn't directly affect you. Why do some people get absorbed in bad news? That's what she said. She said. Oh, and people on my side said there was an echo, and then some people said they heard it, some people said they didn't, and one said it stopped. Yeah, isn't that weird? That's been weird for me lately.
It's data transmission.
So, you think it's the data transmission?
Yeah, it is. It's what's causing an echo. I had to deal with it in my recording studio the other day. I had what was called a digital display lag. So my display and my music were a little bit like a millisecond off, literally. So
really?
when I'd click something, it would be like a millisecond behind, and it wasn't nothing wrong with my machines. And it's a digital. Sometimes it just networks, things just don't run as seamlessly. It's
as they should. Yeah.
So
yeah, we're just trying to ride the wave through. But hey, we would love to hear another song because they would love it here on my side.
Okay.
They love music.
Here's one coming off of my new EP that'll be dropping in about 3 weeks, 2 weeks. little bit of Tran. That's another original. Fantastic. Thank you.
They were loving it on my side.
Oh, were they? Fantastic.
Oh yeah, it was going crazy over my side. They were all
happy.
loving it. Yeah,
Hey.
yeah. So what was the name of that song again?
Translucent Soul.
Translucent. It was very. It just kind of like like I could feel myself like woo getting into that.
Yeah,
wow.
I mean, and that has its own like not being a lyricist or a singer. You can either name songs, I guess, that have meaning to the artist,
right?
Or what do you name a song then? Because the name of a song usually represents something versus off of a lyric. Yes, you can have sonatas, opuses, preludes, all that. Yes, classical wise. Yes. But when you're doing contemporary, what would you like? You can name. I mean, I could open up a dictionary and just pull, and then people are like, well, what does that mean to you? Well, nothing. And so for me, the names, I don't name every song I write. The ones I do are usually because I'm more, I call myself like a picture writer. Like I score more times than not than technically write like songs. Like I do songs, no problems. But like all of my music, when I do originals, paint pictures. Like you said, it took you on a road.
Yeah, yeah.
So like this, Translucent Soul, the name for this was, I wanted something that visually or physically, the music pulls you in, but it's very guttural because of the I call it not polite. It's very demanding. It's very forceful. It's very robust, the sound.
Yeah, I felt it. I kept hearing it. It just kind of like, it draws you in.
Right.
Yeah.
And, and then it's almost like, and translucent is like, nobody can see somebody's soul. Your soul is transparent. It's invisible. So it's almost like a play on word, translucent. But I don't really get deep into my like I've thought of my I'm gonna have another album later this year. It'll be my first solo new album. So I released my first solo album. I've had many albums I've released with other bands, other people, but my first solo album was in 2015. So 2014. So about 10 years ago. And so I'm releasing a new one with all brand new material, all this later this year.
Okay. But so you're gonna release some EPs maybe later this month.
It's actually called The Vault, and that is actually I'm bringing back a lot of old music that I took off and that like got disappeared, and bringing stuff out of the vault, literally of like.
Yeah, you're gonna brush it up and put it back out there.
Yep, and then people will be like, "Oh my God, I've never even," like some of my closer friends are like, "Wow, I forgot that you even wrote this." I was like,
"Yeah, isn't it funny how sometimes music, you write it in a certain period of time." Or it's been created in a certain period of time, but it doesn't really hit until later. Like it's like it was created in this time, but it's not ready for that time. And
it's interesting you mentioned that, because that was actually when I was younger, a lot younger. My first this was like the late 80s. So this is like when, record deals and the music, the 80s hop and pop. And I mean, music was big, big business, and it is still big business, but it was like, whoa,
right.
Where you had to submit demo tapes to record companies and have attorneys or agents solicit them for, that whole pomp and circumstance that is no longer in existence anymore today.
No, people can put stuff out there. Well, thank you so much. And
I had an artist, I had a producer from Warner Brothers liked my stuff, but he said, you're writing, and at that time I got actually upset because I didn't understand. And this was what it was, he said I wrote too much in the future. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of the song or the artist. I'm so bad I can't remember it.
Thank you.
But there was a song from the 80s, and I can kind of hear it in my head, but I can't remember the title or the artist. And it was big here on TikTok, it's been a few months ago. And I'm like, I don't really remember that song from the eight, and it really wasn't. It was kind of obscure in the '80s, but it hit like now, like how many decades later?
Well, how
It
about
just wasn't ready for. We weren't ready for it.
oh, Little Ironhead, you're too cool. Um, no, but you know what the biggest thing is too is look. Here's a big example of it.
That's
Like
it. Running up the hill. Thank you, Chris. Running up the hill. Yeah, back in the '80s, it was kind of like, yeah, I don't really, but now it's kind of like, yeah, running up that hill.
yeah,
Yeah, it
no.
hits us
How about
differently.
I mean, come on. How about Hey There, Delilah?
Yeah, yeah,
Hey There, Delilah made. I mean, everybody knows it now, but
right,
nobody knew that it was released 6 years earlier,
right.
and it was released, and it
Yeah,
flopped. Like
yeah.
it
There's
fell
been
on
other
its
songs like that.
face.
Or
It
they get remade by someone, does it in
no, they just pulled it off the air really quickly,
took it off and then put it
and,
back? Okay.
and they literally just remastered it, and that's just sprucing up the output levels. It's not really doing a lot of work. It's just very, very. It's basically blowing dust off it,
Oh,
um,
okay.
and then threw it right back out because it wasn't. They didn't have a longevity. Like they didn't let it play for like 6 to 8, 9 weeks, and found okay. This is not developing traction. They kind of got an idea real fast, or somebody just said pull it. Maybe just got
Right.
mad. I don't know,
Yeah.
but that was the biggest thing for them. They got to pull it. They threw it basically and shelf it in the locker. And 6 years later, they released the same exact song, exact sound, everything, but it was the right time, and it went ping. I mean,
Yeah.
you know it, but 6 years before, you wouldn't know anything.
Oh, really?
You
That's
wouldn't have known. I mean, like I did a lot of like, and you don't realize how much songs are kind of thrown out there and kind of like, ooh, it's kind of like the wardrobe. You decide that you got the nerve to wear this outfit, and then you walk outside. You're like, no, not yet.
no, I'm
And then
not
you
ready
go
for
back in, and
this.
you're like, thank God nobody saw me. But then you come back, like later when it's in fad, and you're like, yeah, look at this. And they're like, where'd you get the
Yeah.
duds?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I've had it a while. I've been
Yeah.
waiting for it to come
I've
in
got a friend of
style.
mine it's a good friend of mine is he's got a great style, but it's all 70s.
Uh-huh.
I mean, like, and he's like, it's funny, is like a lot of the stuff, these were my high school stuff. I just they were in a box, and he says now they're trendy back again, and
Yeah,
this
it's funny how the trends will come back.
everything
Waves. Yeah, the wave will come back and you're like,
everything is secular.
I remember that.
Come on, I mean, what's funny is like when people are sitting there going, cassette tapes are considered like they're becoming hot. Like the Gen Zers or whatever, they're trying to
Uh-huh.
get interested in the cassette tapes, and I'm like, well, good luck.
Oh, they
Good
better find a
luck.
pencil.
Well, good luck. I actually still have a Sony's Walkman.
Oh, yeah, I remember the Walkman. Yeah.
Yeah, I have the sports one, the yellow. I still have it
Okay.
with the
Yeah.
tape. Um, but the funny thing is this is like vinyls are okay, and that's actually increasing in fad greatly.
Oh, yeah, vinyls.
That's,
Yeah, yeah. They've
that's a
rediscovered vinyl.
medium,
I'm like, I remember it the first time around.
and that medium's easy. That's easy to reproduce. It's polyvinyl. That's why it's called a vinyl polyvinyl chloride for the record itself, actually. And so that's easily able to remarket and repurpose or manufacture. Tapes, on the other hand, nobody makes tape anymore.
Yeah. Suze
So
on my side says she has an autographed 8-track that's priceless to her because it
I
was autographed.
I
Yeah.
grew up until the 8-track broke.
Yeah, I had an
Neil
8-track
Diamond.
player. Yeah,
Neil
yeah.
Diamond. I went to sleep to it
Neil
every
Diamond.
night.
You
You
know
don't bring
that's funny that
you
you
don't bring
say
me flowers.
little Ironhead when she was a baby in her crib. The only thing that would put her to sleep is wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Neil Diamond.
Yeah, that's what I did.
It relaxed her and she would go to sleep.
I
Neil
mean,
Diamond.
that album, "You Don't Bring Me Flowers" album on 8-track. My mom, I mean, like probably when I was like 4 until it broke. Like when I was like 12, 13, broke. It became such a habit. Not even a habit, it just became a ritual. I couldn't sleep without it because I mean I love Neil Diamond I think he's amazing, personally. But I mean it's funny is because every now and then I'll hum. You don't bring me flowers. You don't.
Yeah, I remember.
Whoa,
Yeah,
whoa, wait
yeah.
a minute. When
He did that duet with Barbara Streisand. I remember that. I had the
I love
45 of that.
Barbara. I mean, this is where I like the true colors of who I am can come out. But this is what I'll be polite of saying is that was real musicianship back then. Yeah, and I'm not saying today versus back then as people are better nor worse, but there was a lot more true musicianship back in those days because there were no aids. There were no electronic aids. Not saying that, I mean, I use them, I love them today, but I've got a musical education background.
Right.
Back in the day, if you didn't pull that shit, pardon my language, if you didn't pull this stuff off in the studio, you got kicked out.
Yeah.
Next. Get him in there.
Next. We got somebody else is waiting. Yeah.
Get him in there and do the job. Erickson.
Well, play. Yeah. Little entertainer. Da 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 da. Oh yeah, pick at that tempo. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of, they love in the little silent films they would put that in there, and then they would change the tempo to go da, 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 da. Yeah, bye.
Yeah, if you do this, it'd be really a fast Charleston.
Yeah,
Scott Joplin is a very interesting. He's one of my idols.
Yeah. Yeah, I like some. Yeah.
And he came up around your area.
Oh yeah, right across the river. Yeah.
Like back in the 1910s and stuff when he started, St. Louis was very much known for barroom piano competition.
Ragtime, jazz, all that stuff.
They were actually barroom competitions.
Oh yeah. Oh, thank you for the follow.
They put two uprights back to back of each other in the middle of the barroom. There'd be a mug that would be put on only one mug, and it would be upside down. And there'd be a guy that would start. And then there'd be a ringleader, guy, of course, offside betting. And then you'd flip the mug and point to whoever, and he'd be like, challenge. And then whoever's next comes and sits down at that piano, and by that guy and the crowd's applause dictates who can outplay the other. And that's how Scott Joplin kind of got his started to get his footing of, who's this cat? Because he grew up around, of course, St. Louis, the southern Ohio area, southern Mississippi Delta.
There's Joplin, Missouri.
And yeah, of course. And so the big thing is that this was a form of barroom entertainment.
Yeah.
Betting. Music.
It's funny how music plays so much in so many facets of so many things in the world.
Music is by far the intricate, the weaving between everybody's souls. It truly is. I think it's between all life forms, to be honest. I don't think.
Yeah, and we've talked many times here how music brings us all together, regardless of our language, regardless of our culture. Hey, Lee, welcome in. Regardless of whatever background we've had, doesn't matter. But we can come together when there's music involved. We call it. I have an emote on my site. It says music is a universal language.
Of course.
Because it is. It doesn't matter if you understand the lyrics or not. You can still. Sorry, I have to fix the puzzle piece on my end. Yeah.
See, that screws with me every time.
I hate that puzzle piece. I'm talking in the middle of a thought, and you want me to do that. Now I'm going to lose my thought. That happens. Welcome to my life. Just saying.
Oh, you want to know what welcome to me is? I'm in the middle of a song when it's asking me to do that. I don't even notice, and then I finish the song.
Oh, like if you're performing, that's got to be hard. You're performing and you see that, and you got so many seconds.
How about you don't see it? That happens to me all the time.
Oh, and you don't see it, and then it cuts it off?
Oh, yeah. Then you're done, and you're like, you look at you're like, wow, it's all black. Oh, and everybody's like, where'd you go? I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
Like I did sign on with a management company for a TikTok management company.
Uh-huh.
And I was talking to her and my manager about it. I was like, All right, what the hell's going on with this? And she's like, actually, they were notified that it's because of all of the live TikTokers that would just go live. You know, a lot of people just push live and don't have not that you don't have a reason to go live, but you know, I treat this like this is your own television station.
Right.
Make it poignant and make it a purposeful thing. Sitting there staring back at something into the vacant area for me is not entertaining, and that's fine. Right. You're allowed to have it, but
yeah.
And so they said that a lot of TikTokers overnight would just fall asleep.
Oh yeah, people would sleep on here. Like you know, like the show is a purpose for a live. You know, we have guests, we whatever, and I wish we had more people show up. TikTok, you could help us out with that, but you know, people who actually would want to, because whenever I've tried to promote on occasion. Like I get a coupon and I've promoted a lot just for giggles to see what would happen. I would get nothing but trolls and end up having to block and delete them anyway. So it was like paying for harassment. I was like, I'm not doing that.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, like one of the second or third one I've ever done. I was the same way as I'm like, you know, like if I'm going to start this up as a business and start working this as it, I have no problem investing. It's not, it's no different than, so I'm like, all right, you know, I'll throw $10 at it and see. And actually, my response was very good, actually. So, and actually, I did talk to my man. I'm like, all right, so is this kind of like other platforms where if you put it in and they just the numbers randomly just appear and they're like, no, actually, no, they're legit. And I was like, okay. And honestly, I have to agree because I have gotten in the past people that are still friends with me today that I talk to.
That's great that you have that.
Actually, they're like, hey, you just popped up out of nowhere. I'm thinking, and I didn't say anything. I'm like, the booster.
Yeah. Occasionally I get a few people like that and that's great. They found me. They're like, I'm so glad I found the show. And that's awesome. But whenever I've promoted, it's been really not good. And I think it has a lot to do with being female and middle-aged and you know.
Female, I mean, you know.
When I have female guests versus male guests, the female guests, I tend to have more comments show up.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
People can be nice.
That's not appropriate. Yeah. And we don't put up with it. So you know, Little, she's like she's a mod for me. She'll go boom, they're out.
Oh yeah,
she's like boom.
Everybody. I mean, they know how much because I mean, you know, I always tell people, newsflash, you might think you're funny or creative, but I'm going to tell you, I've already heard it. You're not coming up with something I haven't heard over 50 years.
And I agree. Sometimes things that are put in the written form don't hit the same as if you were in person talking. And so, you know, some people you give them a little leash and see how far they go with it because sometimes it does hit differently. But some comments are just like, no, you should know better.
And a lot of them, like if the comments do come in, sometimes I won't even see them. They'll have taken care of it. But some of the times I do tell them, I'm like, and they're like, oh no, we know, we'll let it dangle, and because they know, because and this is what makes, I think, I always tell people, I'm like, you know, I'm just gonna let you know, it doesn't bother, this has no effect on me. Again, you have no, so it doesn't, like, I don't get mad at it, I don't get sad at it, I don't have any emotion to what you wrote, because it has nothing to do with me. So if that was your intention,
you know, you learn to have tough one. You know, I'm sure you've had it. I was a special ed teacher for decades. You don't think I didn't have comments made to my face in real time, and I dealt with baby trolls in person.
Yes.
So you have, there's ways of handling it. You can't take things personally, but on this platform, when you have adults come in and say things that you wouldn't expect, you wouldn't allow your 9 or 10-year-olds to say.
I agree with you 100%.
Then it's adios. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm the same way. If there's some, but then there are some that they will let through because I want to deal with them.
Occasionally, yeah, that's what Sue's saying over here. She likes trolls. She likes to mess with them, and some people do. And if I'm having a show. Some guests are okay with me and some guests are not. I just try to just ignore it and get rid of it. And because usually my mods take care of it for me.
And see, but, for me, if there's a point to where I can, like, if there's a learning session involved now, It's almost like I am a teacher back, and these are all my students, and I
Yeah,
don't care what
yeah,
age group
yeah,
you are.
yeah. You can.
You're going to act
Oh,
like you're
I
5 years
used to
old.
have to teach social skills.
Right. I'm going to say, if you're going to act like you're 5, guess what? I'm going to teach you now. All right, fine.
Yeah.
And if I see that there's like, oh, yes. And I always tell people, be careful of the questions you ask by the answers I will give.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
so and once they find, and I have to actually, I have to worry more about my followers and the people on here. If somebody says something out of line, they usually go and attack them like a mob. And I have
yes. I've been at your live before where I'm like, okay, I can't do it in this account, but I'll switch to one of my other accounts. Let me add them.
Oh, and I mean, it's crazy. It's like, I mean, I've sat there and before I'm like, hey, whoa, yay, I got it. Thank you all.
Yeah, yeah, I know. And then I'm like, oh no, he knows how to take care of himself. He's good.
Yeah, no, and it doesn't, and I'll have people like, I'm like, I confront people like that very differently, ways that people would never expect. And
yeah, sometimes you have to do that. Yeah.
At the end of the day, I always get, most of the time, I'll be honest, I get so many DMs.
Oh.
That come to me and say, I'm sorry.
Well, that's good. That's good. I mean. That you taught them.
And I mean, because I put it in a different way.
Yeah.
I put it into a position of saying, if you have the audacity or you feel that you have the strength or you're hurting that much that you need to put somebody else down.
Oh, that's usually what it's all about.
Physical, like for me, I didn't pick this spot, and that's how I explain it. I didn't pick this. It's not like I thought this would be a good idea. This is how I grew. This is how my body, this is what God gave me.
That's the way it is.
And for you to make fun is making fun of God.
Yeah. And folks,
that's all I say.
Yeah.
Because there's no rebuttal to that.
Yeah. And this is just amazing. If you are not following Chris Errera, we're getting winding down. We had a late start, so we're kind of going over a few. He has lives here on TikTok. He is phenomenal what he can do. You look at him and you think, oh, he's not going to, can he play that piano? And then he plays and you're like, catch my jaw. So yeah, it's amazing. So don't always judge things by just,
judge a book by
sometimes you got to give it a little time and go,
hey, I'm a fast and furious lover. So we always know on the racing courses, you never worry about the body. You worry what's under the hood.
Absolutely. That's the thing. Okay, you going to give us one more song before we end?
Yes.
Because they love music. Hey, guitar teacher, welcome in.
That's the wrong note. There, a little bit of a.
Wow. Of course, when I hear what's the musical? I know the song da 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 da. That
Memories
one.
From Cats.
Yeah. Like I'm like, when I hear all that in there, I'm like, oh man, it's just like yes.
Yeah, I just maneuver in.
And I love how he does that. Well, like if you ever go to his lives, if you're not following Chris Errera, you need to. He will do these medleys where he'll just do one piece of something you'll recognize in another, and how you transition them so beautifully. And
Yeah.
yes, you did hit a little clunker in there. You said, "Oh, that was a bit." You know what? But if you hadn't announced it, we could just say that was part of the show.
I like announcing it because that's how I show my love to all you. They're extra notes I give you.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, that's fine. He's like, that's what I'm like, it's still beautiful. They're saying wow on my side.
Thank you guys. Thank you for saying wow on my side.
Have they gone back and forth for you? Some of them?
Some are going back and forth. I have no problem. It's about entertainment, and but there's also a hidden agenda to it. It's all about being someone who's got a disability. Does not mean that anybody, doesn't matter what your disability is, does not mean that you cannot do something that's positive for society.
Exactly. Absolutely right. Yeah.
You have value. There is a value here.
You have to find out what your gifts are and use them to compensate for the things that are hard.
And that's, again, things are hard. Oh, well, I'm tired of people that are like, things are hard, so I'm just going to give up. Well, then that's...
Right. No, life, it's going to have hard moments, and you have to learn to compensate. Yes.
Life is hard, but to live and to live good is wonderful.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Well, everyone, I'm looking at the time. I know you've been sitting here a while. My questions from last time, 3 months ago, I still haven't covered them all. So we'll if you come back again on maybe a Tuesday.
Always come back. Come on.
Yeah, we'll have him come back again, maybe from the studio. You'll love that when he does the studio, because studio lives are fun. Yeah.
Yeah, because we play all different instruments.
Yeah, we will do that and kind of change it up for you a little bit.
When I had the nylon mariachi band?
No, I did not.
Oh, and I mean, and then now I just want to let you all know when I do this stuff, this is not like, yeah, I can record it and have all the tracks recorded.
Yeah.
No, I do these live. So it's like I'll put up the instrumentation and I know what libraries can work and what have different arpeggios and stuff. So what you're hearing is literally just coming off. Yes, there are other instrumentation or other instruments that I fire, but it's all coming from like nothing's pre-recorded.
Awesome. So yeah, we got to do that. Okay. I know it's kind of busy month for you. You got
evenings are wonderful for me.
But we'll book a Tuesday night for that. Okay. Yeah. But,
yes.
If you don't mind, we want to play the theme song out.
Go ahead.
I have a theme song out.
Unless
you want to play a theme song out.
No, you play your theme song out.
Okay, and then maybe we'll let you play something at the end while they say bye to each other. Okay.
I don't know. I'll play for you guys. I don't mind. I don't care.
Okay, hold on. Where's it at? Oh, I gotta turn the music up. Gotta turn the music up, folks.
It's amazing. Amazing what a volume knob does.
That's me. And normally we would do our na-na-na-nas, but we're gonna let Chris play something so you all can say bye. Yes, they're all saying thank you. They're saying bye-bye. Tuesday, 8 p.m. Don't forget to join. Yes, you're right, Em. I got to confirm my guest. I've had her booked for a while. Sometimes people forget. Hey, Larry. Bye, says Sabina. Annette says, have a great day, everyone. Yes, this is our na-na-na song, or just in a different form.
Yeah, it's the na-na-na song.
Yeah, bye. But so anyway, everyone, have a great day.
Thank you for having me. Thank you
for being here. Out. Yeah, have a great day. Have a great morning, evening, wherever you're at, whatever time zone, and we will see you here on the
Thanks,
TikTok.
Everybody.
All right, I'm gonna end. You can keep going if you want. Then,
huh?
If I end out of here, then your live would still keep going. And you can do whatever you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Okay, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.